See what's
Okay.
Yep. Hey, everybody, back together again, Father and Son. For those who are new to us and our faces, my name is Anderson. I am the son. What is your name, young man?
Akin Alston, it's Yoruba, it means the brave one. I didn't
Yes.
give myself that name, it was given to me when I was in Africa during the pandemic. Akin,
boom.
the brave one. Akin and Anderson Alston.
That's a win. What's new in your world? How was your week, brother?
Good week.
Good, good. You drinking on some tea today?
No, this is some infused water.
Oh, that's
Right.
good stuff.
So
Yeah.
I don't drink anything that has sugar in it. No,
Yeah.
zero sugar.
Safer, healthier.
No soda. I was doing Crystal Lights a while
Yeah,
ago.
back in the day. Yeah, you were.
I'm just and
Yeah.
I don't like water.
You want to be natural with it.
Yeah, so I have
Smart.
infused water here.
Smart.
Drink coffee, black, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
But today I was Saturday Math Academy.
Yes. How was that today?
Year. It was good.
Good.
I had a woman. She brought in her little infants, or no, not infants, toddlers, right?
Yeah.
And so I did some math with them, and we had to get time.
Good.
I love hanging out with little kids.
They're the best, aren't they?
Yeah. I only have one question for God when I get to heaven, and it's like, why did they ever have to grow up? What was
Right.
what was the point of that, right?
Right.
Like I'm gonna see my best friend Mateo tomorrow, right?
Yeah. It's a good
I'm
brother.
just like, why is he's like 2 or 3 something?
Yeah, you want him to stay right
he
there.
could just stay
you
right.
Don't want him you don't want him to go up.
His parents want him to grow up.
Yeah.
I like him right now just the way he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How was your week?
My week was good, man. Weather was nice. We went on a couple walks. Hit the gym a couple times this week.
Oh, both of you together?
No. I did.
Just you?
Yeah,
Mhm.
just me.
Yeah.
Walks we did together, but like the gym, I was hitting by myself.
Okay.
Doing some bench press, some leg press. The row machine. Just staying active, moving that body.
Well, don't forget your body weight calisthenics, right? I mean,
Yes,
these
dips, pull-ups, push-ups,
chin,
chin-ups, all that. Because that's the money right there.
Because that's
where the money
You're moving your body.
Yes.
You gotta move your body in the gym.
Correct.
Right. So make sure you can move your own body weight.
Correct.
Right? I do body weight activities, and I've never stopped doing push-ups. I do all kinds of push-ups.
And I often hear like when people like Americans specifically retire and stuff like that. Their life expectancy actually cuts down by a lot because they're not moving. Their retirement is looked on as like just a long vacation. So it's like you're not moving, you're not grooving no more how you used to. And so it's like it's cool to retire if that's what your plan is, but at the same time, it's like cool, retire, do whatever you're gonna do, but like move, go on walks, get the kayak, you know what I'm saying, you can get a raft or you get a bike.
I want to go grab my kayak. Starting to warm up, right? Retirement to me is a Western idea.
It is.
It's not African.
It is.
It's not who I am.
Correct.
My father's 92. He's still trying to do.
He's
do
still putting nails on
your great grandfather Anderson Alston. He worked up until the time he died. So,
exactly.
You move your body, and if you love something, you want to walk away from it. And I know things change. People have to kind of tone it down, but
to some degree.
But not me.
But turn it off. No, turn it down. Yes.
I'm actually ratcheting it up a notch now. I'm serious. I got more vitality. And
you sure do.
And
a lot more vigor
for this life.
Yes, sir.
The work that I do.
Yes, sir.
Now more than I ever have had before. But your health is important.
Absolutely.
What were you just saying to me about health? And
health is important. Health is wealth. You can never take it for granted. You
don't have it, right?
Yeah. Yes. A healthy man has 1,000 wishes. An unhealthy man only has one, and it's simply to be healthy.
Just be healthy. So motion is lotion. We keep it moving.
Got to.
Yeah. Hey.
Yes, sir.
This week, right?
Yes, sir.
The draft, right?
Woo-wee.
So, I mean, before I spout off, what's your reaction on this Shedeur, Sanders?
I think I have one overall thing. All he has to do is perform. If he does that and does that at the level he did in college and what level he can go above that and maintain and sustain, everybody's gonna have to eat their words.
But he did get kind of dissed. I don't know if it was collusion
Yeah,
or whatever it was.
no. That was a confirmed great
cool.
call. That was uncool.
Yeah,
and then
wasn't
I
cool.
think it came from the Falcons higher ups.
Yeah, it wasn't
and so
cool.
They're gonna have to answer for that. But he's already like number 2, number 3 in jersey sales. Ain't even stepped on the field yet. But I like him because he's Deion's son. Who doesn't like Deion Sanders? I've never met a person who don't like Deion Sanders.
If I didn't like Deion Sanders, I do like Deion Sanders. But if I didn't like Deion Sanders,
you feel me? You would keep that to yourself.
I'm not gonna say that.
And so he's one of those reasons that make stuff like this even cooler. Because it's like I think what I like about Deion Sanders is like he makes being a father cool.
That thing.
He makes it desirable. Because I feel like a lot of times it's like people don't want to do something because they don't see themselves in it, or they don't have any relation to it. But Deion Sanders makes people want to get cool with their kids and be in their world and be in their life and just be hands on.
Well, I mean,
I really like to see him just be Deion. Like, not even the player. Primetime is cool, but Coach Prime, I like that cat. That cat cold, man. The way he talks.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something too. He's not an ugly man.
No, he's not.
He's smooth.
He's smooth.
He looks good. He's fit.
He still moves.
Right.
He still moves.
And so, I mean, to me, he's the quintessential, just outstanding, excellent black father. And it's not because of all the money and all that.
Ever.
It's just
that's what comes from that.
Here's why I like him as a dad. He stands up for his son.
Regardless.
He stands up for his family. And that's what a man is supposed to do. Any man is supposed to do that.
100%.
I mean, just because he's, primetime famous and all that kind of thing.
That's nice.
That doesn't mean he should be less concerned about where his son plays football.
100%.
But he should be advocating for his son.
100%.
Right? Every father should be advocating for their sons.
Right.
And why is that wrong
to be expected to not is weird.
It's right
because Eli Payton dad,
right?
He was hands on. Nobody said
nobody
nothing.
was bothered by Archie Manning and his family.
And when you get to
didn't bother anybody.
And when you get to the end of the line, you see where we're going, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
but
now, yeah.
And we can go all the way there or not.
Not cool. We don't have to go.
Yes. But I'm excited for Shiloh and
I'm excited. But they got to ball out.
That's all they have to do. That's all they got to do. And I know they will.
Let's see.
What else? Lakers got knocked out in 5.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying Lakers in 5, and I made a video a couple days ago. I said, it took them 5 games to lose.
Yeah.
So they won 4-1. Anthony Edwards is going to be another person who we're going to talk about in the later years when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
That's a special brother. I like his play. He just balled. Mm-hmm. He reminds me of the people you used to like. Who they just ball. They don't do a whole lot of rah-rah. They just get to the bag and they just get to it.
Well, everybody thinks their day and time was the golden era. Yeah. So to me, the golden era of basketball was Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, right, Kareem,
Larry Bird, Kareem.
That's it. Not Kobe. He came later.
Yeah, he came in '96 later.
The ball in the '80s, I kind of thought that's all it was ever going to be.
'80s and '90s. That's all you needed.
Yeah, but I don't pay too much attention to basketball except for March.
I used to turn it on.
When the Sonics left, I left with it.
Yeah,
I left with it.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
As far as considered for the week.
Well, you got a birthday coming up, right?
Ooh, I sure did. I didn't know we was gonna pop that. Yes, sir. I will be 27 years old in 25 days. Mm-hmm. Does that number mean anything to you? Your son's getting older. You used to be 27. Like, how do you think about that?
Well,
or like, what comes to?
I think you're very young. Snap. I think you're very young. I'm 63, right?
Yes, sir.
But no, you're very, very young.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You have my time horizon is this broad, and yours is this broad, right?
Correct.
And so, and again, this is what fathers are supposed to do. We're supposed to pour into the lives of our children and other people in our community too, who may see us, as examples. Yeah. So I'm proud of you. I love you.
Very much. Love you very
much. A lot of respect for you, and I like the things you've said to me that we don't have to mention right now.
Correct.
But you have an attitude of gratitude.
Yes, sir.
And I do too.
Yes, sir.
So to hear you see that and make those pronouncements,
yes, sir.
Is really, really great. Well, I want to do something different today.
Yes.
We have books here. and we're going to review or talk. Well, I don't know if it's going to say review, but
we're gonna scroll through. We're gonna talk about what we discovered. Talk about what we like.
Before we get started, I'm just going to put our books in the document camera. I'm gonna screen share here for a second if I can do that. I don't know if I can. Take your time. Let me see. Put my spectacles on. Let me see. Screen. I don't want to be flopping around back and forth here. You know what? Right. Something might get weird. So let me just not shoot this right now. Who cares, right? Take my specs. Okay. So here's my book.
Yes, sir. Start with you first.
My book is called Mastery, and the author is Robert Greene.
Yes.
And I read
a very well-known
oh my
author.
gosh, he's a well-known author.
Very.
I have one of his other books in the house I read years ago.
Yeah.
The 48 Laws of Power.
One of the
48 Laws of Power, Robert, a great read.
Yes.
But part of that book, if I pick it up right now and go to it,
I
just laugh like crazy because he's telling the story about this guy who's got the yellow kid, who was like this huckster,
con artist,
grifter, con artist. Yes,
yeah,
did some really like a Bernie Madoff.
Okay, got you. Yes.
So in 48 Laws of Power, he's talking about how people can be deceived and swindled and just duped. Right? Some people are being duped right now too. But anyway, So anyway, this book right here is I'm currently reading it right now. I'm on page 123, so I'm right about there. And I'll talk about my book too. But anyway, please. Robert Greene, best-selling author of the 48 Laws of Power, and he also has recently authored a book with 50 Cent.
That's in this book too.
Really? Okay, so so we'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
But what this book is talking about is about mastering a skill, a trade, a profession, anything, getting to whatever it is you do in this life, getting to mastery level, right? The pinnacle, the crown of your achievement, getting to the top, right? Mastery level.
Yes.
And he talks a lot about what younger people like you should be doing to get to
that level.
That level that's called mastery. And he talks about apprenticeship. So there used to be this thing in our country, or now all around the world, I would say, that if you wanted to learn something when you were younger,
you had to go to somebody.
You went to somebody who was
elder,
a skilled elder, or in this case, master.
Yes.
And you worked with that person
directly to get that skill, to get that knowledge, to be able to become them at their position in life.
So that's called apprenticeship.
Yep. Mentorship, if you will. Yeah.
And then another way people used to learn things back in the day was whatever their father did.
That's usually what they did.
They did.
Yeah. That was pretty much what you just did.
So let me give you some names off the top of my head. These are last names or surnames. Cooper, Fuller, Wright, and Smith.
Yep.
Now we know these are surnames.
Yeah.
But a Cooper was a person who made barrels. So if you're a barrel maker, your name was Cooper, so your son became Cooper. We're called Cooper, right? Your work even became your name.
Brandon, you bought what you did.
Fuller, F-U-L-L-E-R. A fuller was somebody who washed clothes to get them really, really what? White. A fuller. A smith, blacksmith, ironsmith, silversmith, goldsmith.
Yeah.
They worked with what? Precious metals, right? And so the name had a lot to do with the occupation. And so if that was the father's trade, that was necessarily, in most cases, going to become the son's trade. Now, growing up, all the Austins were builders. I mean,
carpenters,
houses,
contractors,
builders.
Yeah, good with hands.
And my brother, who's now passed, my older brother, he wanted to be like my father in the trade.
Yeah, and he was good.
He was good at it.
He was good.
And I decided, no, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right?
That wasn't your route.
Well, I don't want to be outside getting wet.
Yeah, in all 4 seasons.
I don't want to do that. I want to work indoors. I'm sorry, that's just me, right?
And good for you for changing your path.
When I was in the Army, I did all the outdoor stuff.
You sure did.
Sleeping in mud and rain.
Exactly.
I don't want to do that now in my professional life.
Correct.
Okay? But my father had a problem with that because I didn't want his work.
Right. And that looked to him like disrespecting the father.
Yeah. And he made that a point of contention.
I can imagine.
Which wasn't cool.
Right.
But when you want to become a master, you find someone and you submit to their mentorship.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's my book a little bit. So let's hear about your book.
Yes, sir. My book is by a professional American music artist by the name of Rick Ross.
Oh, 50 Cent was talking about him.
He said that. Everything you're saying is in here. That's what's hilarious.
Okay, so I listen to Audible.
Yeah.
I'm books all the time. Yes. All day long it's a book, right?
Yeah.
So I have this Audible book of 50 cents. I just finished
the 50th Power.
Hustle Harder.
Hustle Smarter.
I think Hustle Smarter, not harder.
Not harder.
50 cents, right?
So I might have to get that next.
So I'm listening to that audiobook, and 50 cents is talking about this dude here. And now I never really knew this much about this guy, but 50 Cent is mentioning this brother right here.
Yes. So they have a long-standing beef difference.
A kind of feud.
That's a better word.
Okay.
And so one of the excerpts from the book goes, one of my favorite books is Robert Greene's cult classic, The 48 Laws of Power. Even though Robert wrote a book with 50 Cent, I'm still a fan of his work, and I've learned a lot from reading his books. But I never completely agreed with all of the laws. When I had the opportunity to meet Robert, I told him so. He reminded me that every law has a reversal, and that sometimes you need to do the opposite depending on the circumstances and situations. And so I just love getting gems because it really is true that in today and forever, there's certain things you're not going to learn on Google. There's certain things you're not going to learn, on the job. There's certain things you're only going to learn from a book, and that's very powerful. And one of my and this whole
now he's a rapper, right?
And he's a rapper, music mogul, businessman, entrepreneur, icon in certain regards. And this whole book, I was kind of laughing in my head when I was reading it. I'm on chapter 9. What's that? Let's start chapter 9. Let's go.
Did you get it on Amazon?
Yes, I did a couple months ago. 132. And so I'm about halfway done and enjoying every minute of it. One of the other things I like is he's just giving game and he's giving gems about kind of how he got to where he got to in life, be it financially, be it status. And he said the best thing that money will ever buy you is peace of mind. When you get to a certain level of money, it takes the pressure off and frees you up to focus on the things you really care about. Financial freedom is life's greatest stress reliever. And you'll never achieve it if you spend your money as fast as you accumulate it. So stay focused on stacking your paper. That's what he said. And that was the last one of chapter 7. Wow. And so the one where he mentions mastery, he says in his 5th book, in his 5th book, Mastery, Robert Greene writes that a fighter who enters the ring with a clear sense of purpose and strategy, and with the confidence that comes from complete preparation, has a much better chance of prevailing. So a lot of this book is like a lot of like just real life things that this brother right here has went through. But overall, it's just giving you a lot of books like the ones that we're referring to right now are more books of like where your mind needs to be to even get to where you want to be. So it's like you can't be having negative thoughts and have a positive outcome in life. That's just, I've never seen that happen for anybody. And I don't think anybody who's ever succeeded in life did it on accident. Rarely does that ever happen. He talks about in this book as well about how majority of people who win the lottery go broke within 3 to 4 years, which is crazy. $370 million lottery, throwing that out there, and now you're back to working in Foot Locker. I would look in the mirror and be very angry with myself if that was my predicament. So all in all, it's just giving a lot of gems on wisdom, on mindset, on actions you need to take. And he sounds a lot like you in this book just by like his mindset, the way he talks. And I can see you enjoying this book as well. We might have to swap in a couple months.
There you go.
And I'm with that because I'm gonna pick. I already have the 48 Laws of Power. I haven't picked up Mastery.
You haven't read? You have the 48 Laws of Power?
I have the 48 Laws of Power. I think you gave me a copy.
Oh, maybe that's why I can't find the book.
You know what? That might be your copy.
I was looking like, where's my book?
You know what's funny? I think that is your copy. I
don't lose books.
No.
Books get stolen or given away or not returned. But I don't just like lose
I think I have it too. That might be the copy I have.
Okay.
All
right. Well, you keep it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to read that section of the book again where he talks about the yellow kid who's a swindler, a la in the form of AKA Bernie Madoff. It's terrible. But reading it,
millions.
I mean, the way he tells the story, I'm just laughing.
Yeah. And he did it in broad daylight too.
It's terrible.
Right from underneath your feet.
Terrible. So anyway,
yes, sir.
Apprenticeship is something really, really cool.
Yeah.
And
did you ever take apprenticeship to get into the math consulting business?
Well,
tutoring, chess. Did you ever take any apprenticeship up on your end?
When I created created my career, my career didn't exist.
It sure wasn't.
There was no such thing as a math consultant, math specialist, the way I was doing it. So I had to learn everything by scratch and just by, as we say, trial and error.
Right.
And so for me, no.
Okay.
And then I didn't have any resources to look at, but there was a principal that I had at the school in the Lake Washington School District. I'm going to say his name. He's a good dude. His name is Larry Pollock. His wife might be watching, or she'll see it at some point. She can share this with him. So Liz, give my love to Larry. And he was the principal at school.
Wow.
And he spent time coming to my math classes, because I would do before school math classes, and I would do some a mathematician.
And he took that up on his own to do that. It wasn't of requirement of him to do that. That's dope too.
To watch me, share with me, and give me insights and input into the things that I was doing. And then sometimes after we would teach, he would watch me teach math. We hop in the car and drive up to Stevens Pass and go snowboarding.
Oh, I know, that was fun.
And so,
wasn't that far from it either.
No.
Over in that area.
We're already in Woodinville.
Yeah.
So he would tell me about his experiences. He had a situation with his father that I think was difficult for him, which I had too. So he's the closest thing that I ever had professionally as a mentor. But
you still keep in contact with him?
Not so much. Okay. But every now and then his wife will reach out to me. I think he's up north someplace.
Nice.
Now.
Okay.
But in any case, and I would like to see him.
Yeah,
but in any case, he's the closest thing that I would say that I had to a mentor in those days.
Okay.
And I really admired the fact that he cared enough about my career to share with me, spend time with me, apart from the school, to help move my career along. But when I started doing what I was doing, there was nobody that I could look at, no example, and I had to figure things out on my own. And that's okay. Also, too, this book talks about how mentors who are masters are often really willing to share their learning, their experience, their wisdom, and their craft with people. And right now, I would say to you that I don't have anyone in this life, anywhere where back east here, wherever I go, that really wants to do what I do.
Correct.
And it's starting to kind of just be a thing for me. I'm like, wow. I mean, when I'm gone.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think I've done great work. I know I'm not bragging, but I'll tell you, I've saved a lot of lives. I've helped a lot of people. And I don't teach math like it's a school thing.
Correct.
I just think I just do it the way I do, right? And so I really would like to think that pedagogy, methodology, that way that I do get kids engaged in doing math could be passed on to the next generation. So I don't have anyone in their 20s and 30s.
I think that's one of the the last professions that I feel like has not been intercepted with the level of coolness and desirability that would spark somebody my age and a little bit older to get directly jump into. So like a lot of things that have became cool and reached a certain level of awareness to my generation, I'll say, it's because it's like we kind of see ourselves in it. And I think teaching overall is still one of the last lingering professions that not necessarily people don't want to do, but nobody sees. Nobody has seen to date like an interest that like they can see themselves in it. They they don't have
it's not a glamorous profession. It's not a glamorous profession.
Correct. It's not firefighter. It's not police officer. No. It's not judge.
Not NBA.
Lawyer. It's not NBA. It's not NFL. Do you think? In my opinion, I feel like that's the last little bit of a hump because I've seen it behind the scenes, so I know more so than somebody who might not have any experience about it or with it. I think it just needs a touch of desirability and a touch of glam. Not necessarily change it to attract,
I understand
but it just needs the attraction needs to change. But I feel like once that does, you'll see an overflow.
Well, that's why I've just been an independent teacher. I don't work for a school district.
And you have tried to bring people on, teach, hire, train.
Because I have a flair or a way I want to teach.
Correct, you sure do.
It often doesn't fit with the typical public school
system,
standards-based education system. So I like to do it my own way.
Correct.
And I think I bring flair and glam
110%.
Into what I do.
110%.
But no, teaching isn't a glamorous thing. But I didn't get into it for that reason.
Exactly.
Two of my students have been shot to death.
Correct.
And the first girl who was killed in 1993 is the reason why I became a teacher at the age of 9 when she was killed. So that's how I came into the profession. But I really do feel like for a person who's taught mathematics for 32 years,
yeah,
at every level,
exactly,
all across this country,
yeah,
that I would really like to think that there was somebody that I was mentoring. So when we think about a master pouring into the apprentice or their mentee, also think that there's a benefit for a person who is accomplished at what they do,
correct,
to pass that on. Because typically we want to feel like, our lives meant something.
Yeah, and you want to see it continue.
You want to see it continue.
Naturally.
And right now, I don't see any continuation of my 32-year career. I don't.
I've actually never even heard you say that.
Well,
that's very deep.
I haven't said it. I mean, certain things you don't say.
Yeah, you don't verbalize.
Your 20s or your 30s, your 40s. Then certain things you start to say in your 50s, and now in my 60s, 63.
You start to
certain things I say.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't thinking like that a while ago.
Right. You didn't have that return. Coming up. Yeah.
No. But here's a story in this book, and it tells the story of this guy named Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach. And if you're in the boxing, you know who Freddie Roach is.
Yeah.
Okay. So Freddie Roach, he lost his passion for being in the ring. Something happened, and he decided to coach, teach. And so one day he meets this guy named Manny Pacquiao. Nobody knows who he is.
Not yet.
And when he came to the U.S., people were like, he's a bum, man. He's okay.
Right.
He's okay, but he has this flaw, he has that flaw.
Right.
But Freddie Roach said, no, I see something in this kid. And nobody else did. See, masters can see things that sometimes you can't see and other people can't see. But we can see because we have experience.
Yes.
So Freddie Roach takes this kid that nobody ever heard of from the Philippines named Manny Pacquiao. And there's nothing really else to say because the rest is what? History. But then here's something that happens that Freddie Roach tells you in the story. After a while, the script flipped and Manny Pacquiao became greater than his teacher.
It takes a good coach because a lot of coaches want you to be good, but just not better than them. And what did you say at the beginning of all these? You said my son is a better man than me.
Oh, I've always said you're a better man than me.
The first time I ever heard you say that was years ago.
Yeah.
And I go,
I've always said that.
And I go, wow, but like I think you're really great. What do you mean I'm greater than you, dog?
Because if you're teaching someone, if they never got great, if they never became great,
you're gonna look at yourself as a
better than you, then how great were you? Right. So every teacher should want their students to excel them. Every father should want his son to be greater than himself. I want my accomplishments to pale in comparison to the things that my son does. And when I said you were greater than me, I was angry, I was hostile, I was a street kid, foster care. I had
terrible than I had.
And I kind of raised myself for a long time. So
naturally,
I didn't have a father, a good father. I didn't have those things. So I decided, well, I wanted that for you. And so when I could see you becoming that way, I'm gonna go turn that something off.
Gotcha.
When I saw you becoming that, I'm like, wow, he's already greater than his father.
What were some indicators in the beginning for you?
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Do you think, brother? That's crazy. Wow.
Okay, I was hearing an echo.
Yes, no worries. So to re-ask the question, what were some indicators early on that you kind of latched onto? You're like, oh, this guy's gonna be different. This cat different. Oh, this guy.
You would laugh.
Wow.
You were more extroverted. You were good with people.
Wow.
I'm only good with children. I don't really do adults.
Right.
And you were just always more affable and lighthearted. I was always, just like that.
Stern,
and it was just I was always edgy. And I grew up like that. And I never smiled. I never smiled. I could show you pictures of me when I was a kid.
I used to ask you like, what you would show me pictures of yourself that you did still have on you, whatever. And I'd be like, oh, how old were you in this photo? You'd be like 12. the image and and I can see you're wearing anger at age 12. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I thought you were like 18, 19 in this photo. You know, because like age and hardship and struggle ages a person. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, I was like, well, I would have never thought you were the ages that you were.
From the ages of 14 to 22, there were intermittent homelessness days for me, or food insecure. When I was in college, and the whole story,
right.
Work for food, sleep outside, started jumping out of airplanes and helicopters, got a commission for President Reagan, so I get $100 a month. So it wasn't fun. So I never had a childhood.
Yeah, you never had a reason to smile back then.
No, nothing was funny. Okay, so, but I knew that I needed to give you and your brother and sisters a different story, right? 100%. My story is gonna die with me, and that's where it needs to die out. I have I can't stand dudes who aren't great dads. I just can't.
You brought them in here.
I can't mess with you.
Right.
So LeBron's a great dad.
100%.
Enoch is a great dad.
Enoch is a great dad. LeBron's a great dad.
Aaron,
right?
Micah, Judah's dad.
Not
saying his last name.
Shout out to those guys.
These are dudes that I love. Skip, right?
Yeah, very good brother. Very good brother.
Pastor at our church. So I just love men who love their children, especially who love their sons, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know what that's like.
Correct.
But the idea of being apprenticed, right? Mm-hmm. Get back to that for a second.
Yeah, please.
If you don't have someone that's in your household or close to you, you can still go out and find somebody.
You sure can.
Who will be happy.
And that person is often not far.
Oh, they're around. Arms reach.
And a lot of people want to help.
Yes.
A lot of people want to help, but a lot of people don't want to help people who don't want help.
And I don't want to present myself as, hey, I'm your master.
Look at me.
Now, I don't want to be that, but I can promise you that
they have no problem.
People would be surprised how much older people my age, would just really give to you and support you in your journey, on your path, on your quest to whatever it is that you really aspire to do. Absolutely.
You never know.
So everybody can have a mentor if they want one.
They sure can.
And sometimes I don't think students are aware of it or recognize the need for it. But it's just good to have somebody who can be a rudder, a guide, or a steer, or somebody that can be a sounding board who'll talk to you.
Right.
The other thing I always told you was that find good men, surround yourself with good men. Right?
And you know I've successfully done that.
You've done that. So the men that you hang out with, they're all younger than me, but Enoch can drop me for 10 push-ups or more anytime, right?
Yeah.
Enoch is a better man than me. I love him. I'm older than him.
That's a dog right there, man. He's a soldier.
Well, he performed your wedding.
He sure did.
He sure did, right? And he's an African. He lives in this country.
I saw him in church I saw him at church the other week, and right as we were sitting down, he looks at me and then he like kind of whispers to me, me and Bianca. He goes, "Oh, some of my two favorite people. I'm so glad to see you." When he said that to me, you can ask Bianca when we go upstairs. When he said it to me, I'm like, somebody who I admire telling me he likes me the same way, and that's him saying that.
This guy eats
special.
This guy eats dinner. He eats dinner with heads of state. He travels the world. CEOs, he knows everybody, every level of government all around the world. This man is just so cool. And so
elegant,
and so
opulent.
He's so intelligent. He's so gracious, right?
Yeah.
And so for him to have done your wedding was great for me. But I like knowing that he is a person who is mentoring you.
100%.
Right? And
he's doing it simply being.
Yeah.
Being. You know, being next to him, being invited to the home, having an open door policy with him. I don't ever take that for granted.
Wow.
I do not take that for granted.
Access is huge.
He's often told me, he was like, man, we need to see you guys more. Why don't you guys come over more? I'm like, I'm trying to, and you know me, I subscribe to the teachers of you. Hey, you stay out of somebody's way. You know, if they want you there, they'll let you know.
Don't make yourself a nuisance.
You know, what did you say? A friend seldom seen.
Well, Mama used to say, seldom visits make long friends, right?
Yes. And I still subscribe to that.
Yeah. So
if I'm always,
you're always coming over. You're always calling me up. Well, then I'm gonna have to kind of reduce our friendship.
You're always coming over and you don't know when to leave.
It's too much.
It's not fun.
But for him to welcome you into his space, into his beautiful wife and children, his gracious family,
amazing.
he's enriching your life
100% in more ways than I can even imagine.
And he's a master, and so
big time.
He's the type of person that's pouring into your life right
100%,
now.
110%,
and that makes me happy for you, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So just be around dudes,
who got it, who understand life, who and I think a lot of it. I think a lot of the part that we're not even speaking on is that a lot of people have to take their pride and ego away. A lot of people have to come to the senses that hey, I don't know everything, and I would like to know more. And that's the beginning of the hunt. That's the beginning of mastery.
So you're talking about humility.
Yes.
So there's a proverb.
You have to have that.
There's a proverb that says, and before honor is humility, right? Masters don't like people who are asserting themselves.
Correct.
Rookies who just got drafted.
Yeah. They already bought the house. They already bought the this. Well, it's like, man,
they shouldn't show up like they've
been there before. You've never been there.
You're a rookie.
You just got here.
Right. You're not a master.
Right.
So don't be arrogant and cocky, because one of the things this life will humble you quick and fast, right?
And that's worse than your friends can do, worse than your parents can do. So that tacks on to my attitude of gratitude. Yeah. It's like, man, just if I don't know something, I'm gonna ask. If I have a question, I'm gonna do the best I can to figure it out, and I'm gonna ask somebody who does know. I'm gonna ask you. I've asked you certain hard questions and then it's like it's just you not wanting to ask lets me know how much you don't really want to be where you want to be. You have to have a certain level of humility, how you just stated. It's important. It's almost like imperative. It's almost as if that's the only thing that will be the vehicle from point A to point B. Because people love to help somebody who is reciprocating of the help, is reciprocating of the knowledge of the information. I'll help anybody who asks. I'll help anybody who is lost. If you desire the help, and to those who don't, prepare to be lost longer. Prepare to go. It's supposed to take 40 days, 40 nights. It took 40 years. So I'd be like, Pop, hey yo, man, what's this? How do you do this? You've asked me, hey man, how do you get to this website, or what's this mean? You say, oh, what is? I've never seen that before. I'm cool to talk to an 8-year-old. I'm cool to talk to an 80-year-old, and everybody in between, because everybody can help. And one more thing before we get out of here. I was thinking about it while we were talking about the books. You taught me how to read at a very early age.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember sitting on the couch and it was a specific book. I think it's still up there. It's probably still up on the bookshelf. But it was like phonics and
yeah.
And
yeah,
there you go.
That book is called Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons.
Yeah.
By Siegfried Engelmann.
Wow.
I've had that book in my collection
for
before you were born.
Easily.
Before you were born, that book was gifted to me. I've given away many copies of that book.
You have.
And one of the things that's really important about learning early on is the ability to read. And so if you want to be a lifelong learner, that implies also to me that you'll be a lifelong reader.
Yes.
Right? So getting people to read early is really, really important. That book is worth its weight in gold. Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. It's on Amazon.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's probably the best book for teaching your child how to read.
It is the singular.
Because I read back and read as an adult. I'm like, oh snap! He was gems.
Yeah, I taught our granddaughters how to read with that book.
When I was in 3rd grade, I was spelling at the 6th grade level as far as school system is refined to. But they couldn't. I think they called you and mom down. They said Anderson's passed on all his spelling. Like he doesn't need to be it. So during the quizzing spelling part of the class, I'm over in a separate corner with a different educator, and we're doing sight words. We're doing 7th grade words. I'm moving forward. So I just appreciate it for all the ways and efforts that you helped me be the man that you think is better than yourself.
Well, you are.
Thank you.
And you'll continue to be.
Yes, sir.
And just keep reading great books.
Yes.
We'll swap some books.
Yeah, we sure will.
I would just summarize this whole book to say that, hey, everybody needs to find a master to help them in their apprenticeship, on their journey or their quest to be whoever they want to be, if they aspire to be in doing this life. Find someone to help you. There's always going to be somebody there. This guy in 50 Cent's authored a book. Yeah. I think I need to read that book.
Yeah, I think I got to read 48 and then the 50th Rule. Yes. And overall, to sum my book up so far, I say, whatever you want to do, do it today. If you the fastest way to eat an elephant is by taking the first bite. Mm-hmm. Perfect day to boss up. Mm-hmm. And he says, and actually on the back is really the summary. It doesn't matter what's going on. Even the most dire situation is just another opportunity to boss up.
That's good, son. All right, brother. Let's go have dinner with our wives.
I love it.